Hi drummers, Garey Williams is back with another reaction and analysis video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out the one and only Jojo Mayer. Many of you requested I do a little analysis on his playing, and so that's what we're going to do. This is back when he's playing more of a standard six-piece kit. So let's check it out. Now, you might want to rewind that. You see that little double stroke roll went right into a single stroke roll. It's a great position to see his right hand fingers. You really study what goes on with the back of the stick to better understand what's going on with the front of the stick. Ooh, the one-handed roll. Nice. There it is. Great shot with the right hand. Left hand buzzes. Ooh, right hand brush. So that's a little fanning technique where you can actually do almost like a rim shot with the rubber handle of the wire brush and get it to go. She's a cool little fanning effect between the right hand brush. Now look on sort of a stick shot position where normally old school guys would do like a stick shot, different than a rim shot where you're hitting the drum rim and the drum head, or a cross stick, which is laying across the drum like a side stick. This is where you take one stick and hit it on the other at an angle. So you see he's doing kind of a brush hit there. Double strokes. Listen to that. Okay, switching to the other brush. He didn't even take the wires out. Ooh. Okay, now, a lot of stuff in brushes. I studied with Jeff Hamilton, one of the greatest brush players of all time, and maybe many of you don't know this about Jojo Mayer, but before he got into the whole jungle drum and bass and the more modern stuff he's doing now, he was actually a jazz drummer playing with the Monty Alexander Trio, who's really a pianist that kind of has a Jamaican background. That's where I discovered Jeff Hamilton's playing, because he was the drummer with John Clayton, the bass player, and they were the Monty Alexander Trio for many years. But prior, I think, to Jeff actually doing this, or maybe sometime during this, I don't actually know the dates, but Jojo Mayer was playing straight ahead stuff with brushes, and you can tell, listen to his brush playing, it's really great. So he's doing a lot of the sideways sweeping. For those of you who don't play a lot of brushes, it's really good that you're watching this. This is an excellent camera angle, and then if you slow motion this, you can start to develop some of these kind of cross strokes. But the whole focus is a lot of time playing across the drum, literally brushing it, and less all up and down vertical stick strokes. So checking it out. Double strokes. Nice. Now what that was triplets. Kind of hard. He's getting a little bit of rebound. Brushes do have some bounce, regardless of what people say. There's a way to get them to bounce. It has to do with your fulcrum position. If you were to compare a brush to a stick, you'd see stick's about 2.5, 3 inches longer than the average wire brush. So if you play further back or hold further back on the handle, you can get more weight forward and get the brushes to bounce. Some brands have stiffer gauge wires so they bounce more. These are pretty clearly not that stiff. I can tell by the amount of bend and the flexibility in the sound he's getting. Notice the snare wires are off. Fives. Ooh. So there's a triplet. Right hand's playing upbeat triplets. 1 and 2 and 4 and against fanning kind of stuff. With the high hand there. Okay, those are those slam accents. Left hand lead only. Block it, block it, block it, block it. It's playing like a Swiss Army triple, but not. It's different sticking there. So really nice. There's that fanning and get double stroke. Oh, so he's kind of got kind of a pattern between right hand trilling, left hand hitting, and bass drum. So a little fourness, a threeness of sort with the right trill. Double strokes. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right there. Ooh, look at that. Back and forth fan. Twisting of the wrist. Ooh. Doesn't have the snare wires up. That left hand position. More of that old school thumb down, fulcruming on the buzz toward the edge. Look at the right hand. Okay, now look at this right hand grip. For all of you guys that think that you should always have a gap here, don't agree, to be honest with you. I've studied many different technique videos, and some people are very religious in their belief that you always must maintain that gap, and it really doesn't work for certain things. And I think that if you studied many different levels of technique, you'd discover it doesn't work for everything. There's different grips for different things, just like different gears for different speeds. So noticing now that his hand puppet's mouth is pretty closed with the right hand. He doesn't have a big gap. He's using more of a thumb and index finger fulcrum. You can see the tip of the index finger on the bottom of the stick and then the middle finger supporting it and the ring finger right around there. But the primary grip is the trigger finger, not the middle finger. This works best for buzz rolls. You're pinching, pressing. One of the names for that is a crush roll or press roll because it requires pinching and pressing down to get the sticks to do that buzz. There's more ring near the edge of the drum, so they often want to do it near the edge because the ring, and also more rebound because it's tighter near the tension rods, and the further away from the tension rods, the looser the head gets. So oftentimes when you want a nice smooth, purry, almost turning sand on a newspaper kind of concept with the buzz roll, you would want to roll near the edge of the drum. Nice, soft control. Ooh, look at that. Yeah! Dude! That was Trent. Doubles. Ooh, here we go. Opening them up. Buzzing. Fast doubles. Buzzes, opening them up. Look at that. Whoa! Look at that! Okay, now that's that one-handed roll. Apparently, Kenwood Denard, he taught years ago down at, I think, at Berklee College of Music, one of the interesting drummers that would play keyboards in one hand and drum in the rest of the hand. But he was one of the first drummers, I think, that Freddie Gruber discovered watching him do it. One-handed roll. And then other guys picked it up. And I know Drumeo guys have done a lot of videos on that kind of stuff. So it's basically using the rim as a false fulcrum. And you get sort of a note when you tap the stick on the rim, and you bring it up, and when you lift off, you get another one. So there's a very interesting teeter-tottering effect. It has to be held at a certain position with a grip in a certain way and a certain distance, and then you can and get kind of like a down-up motion. So for every down and up stroke, you get a note. So it's kind of like the heel-toe technique for bass drum, but it's using a false fulcrum or the rim. So there's different methods out there you can study, but that's what he was doing really fast right there. And then the left hand just cranking on the cymbal. Okay, yes. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel. Cool. a really cool lick, Buddy Rich. So right stick shot or dead stroke. So off the stick shot, head, dead stroke, right there. Kind of thing like that. And he's doing a lot of right, left, right, stuff like that, and then some back sticking. Really cool kind of core stuff. Yeah. That's like a double stroke. Yep. Rims. God, that's so cool, that kind of stuff. So he's basically ricocheting. Steve Smith does the same thing too, where you can drop the stick and you can literally dribble it with the other hand. And he can do it over this hand, and he's doing this fanning, double stroke stuff. Very cool. Those are like diddle pairs, paradiddles. This whole thing. Okay, that was right, left foot. Really fast. Singles. Okay, those are doubles. Oh! Snare change off. Oh! 2 up, 1 down. Oh, 2 up, 2 down. Some of that stuff is almost like flams, or using the hi-hat there is like another dunk. And if you hit a cymbal like that, and especially held splashy, it almost sounds like a gated crash, and it has kind of a bite to it, so you don't actually need a bass drum reinforcement. And if it's really close to the kick drum, it almost sounds like it's part of it. It's got this nice cascading waterfall effect. Yes! Yes! Oh! There's a attempted single stroke. Whoa! A lot of singles, really fast rapid fire stuff. What an excellent camera view right over him so you can see what he's doing. A lot of right hand lead accent, so the left hand's going to be filling. So there's a constant going on. He's got some rebound on the left hand, nice little accents, very cool stuff, and some crossovers. And then just some triplets, very clean, a little messing up there, here and there, but he's just so energetic. It's just too cool. Yeah. Those are right, left, left. So right, left, left. Love the no bass drum. 2 up, 2 double bass drum. Okay, now those are like almost paradiddles. Bada-bibba, dabba-didda, bada-bibba. So they're... But you can see the crashes going right, left. So you can go paradiddle, and he's going. Sometimes you can get this effect where you hit a cymbal and another bass drum after it. He's so energetic. Single strokes between the right hand and left hand. Look at This reminds me of almost like the right hand travels down the toms and the left hand's tracking. But instead now he's got it between the left hand on the hi-hat cymbal, right hand hitting cymbals, or left hand on another cymbal. So he's actually like drumming on the cymbals with the right hand playing almost like the tom accented strokes and the left hand the filler softer notes. Oh, here we go. Bass is back. Oh God, that's so cool. Good God, look at that. Yes. You know, this is Sunny Payne, man. We're going to do a Sunny Payne video, and when you see him, you're going to go, I see where JoJo got this. Yeah! Woo! Oh, God, that was so cool. Oh, we got to talk about this. That guy is just so excellent. I can't believe it. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's get this page off of here. The great, great JoJo Mayer. Man, when he came onto the scene, I saw him at a Modern Drummer Festival. It was just like, who is this guy? I mean, he wasn't a really tall guy. He's kind of small, but damn, his chops were amazing. He was doing some weird molar twos with the left hand, and you could just tell he had this freaky thing, this push-pull technique that I've seen. First person I saw do that was back in '84 was Jeff Hamilton. He was doing it, and he said he sort of stumbled onto it doing a fast samba. It's more from a jiding, 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 and then it started straightened out. And then, of course, JoJo's way into this in his DVD, Secret Weapons of Modern Drumming Part 1, A Guide to Hand Technique. And then, of course, you saw some of that fancy footwork he's doing. Well, if you want to get into a second DVD, The Secret Weapons of Modern Drumming, Part 2, A Guide to Pedal Technique, he goes into this whole thing about how he developed this by being inspired from Sonny Payne, the drummer with the Count Basie Orchestra at the time, that was featured on a drum solo called Old Man River with the Count Basie Orchestra. And then he was a tap dancer. So he stood up at the end and played this really fast digga 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 with one foot. Very similar to the way JoJo played that at the end of the solo. And it used that heel toe technique. So if you study a second DVD on the secret guides to, technique for the bass drum pedals, he's going to go into that whole detail about how he developed it. And there's a whole philosophy behind it. And it's really deep because the guy is very deep. Amazing, amazing JoJo Mayer. His playing's definitely evolved. His cymbal choice, his sounds, his kit, everything's different. More jungle drum and bass. But back then he was playing more of a conventional kind of a Steve Gadd, Carlos Vega, Vinny Colaiuta kit. 2 up, 2 down snare, and he had a couple auxiliary left snares, kind of standard cymbal setup. And really cool to watch these drummers when they started at that point coming out, and they're as great as they were at that time, and see them continue to evolve and become even greater drummers today doing what they do. So thank you, JoJo, for all your awesome educational material and playing the way you do. You're a big inspiration to the rest of us. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I am available for lessons if you'd like more information on how to play like some of these great drummers. So just reach out to me at the contact information below. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next reaction and analysis video. Until then, take care, and we'll talk then. Bye-bye.